Welcome back to our latest explainer. We've had a frankly chaotic week of global AI breakthroughs, so we're going to distill all of that noise into a really structured thematic digest for you. Seriously, from explosive shifts in global markets all the way to AI literally decoding lost ancient languages, there's just a massive amount of ground to cover today. I've already dug through the data, the research papers, and the corporate announcements, and extracted only the absolute essential takeaways so we can get you up to speed fast. Okay, let's look at our roadmap. We're covering four main areas today: the rise of Chinese AI, automating the real world, politics, policy, and Hollywood, and finally, testing AI's cognitive limits. Let's jump right in. Section 1, Rise of Chinese AI, Shifting the Global Market Power. So we're kicking things off at the explosive financial and market shifts coming out of the East right now. The global power dynamics in AI are realigning incredibly fast, and the data we're seeing this week really proves that the whole landscape is fundamentally changing. Just take a look at this staggering number, 820%. That represents the stock surge of Zhipu AI's parent company just since January. It's wild. This massive financial leap happened almost immediately after they announced their new flagship open-weight model, GLM-5.2. It's rapidly becoming one of the fastest-growing AI companies on the Chinese market, and let me tell you, it has absolutely captured the attention of global investors. And this right here perfectly illustrates exactly why that stock is surging. GLM 5.2 comes equipped with a massive 1 million token context window. That means it can ingest entire code bases all at once. Plus, it's completely open source under an MIT license, and its premium coding plan, it's about 10 times cheaper than leading American competitors. Tests are even showing it's actually beating closed models like Claude 5 in web design and interface creation. Crucially, Zhipu is openly capitalizing on recent U.S. export bans that restricted access to American models. They're offering a highly capable, completely unrestricted alternative to developers worldwide. So, the really crucial point here is how this strategy translates into actual real-world usage. Looking at this Open Router volume data from 2026, you can clearly see Chinese models are absolutely dominating the top spots. I mean, DeepSeek V4 Flash processed an incredible 4.63 trillion tokens. Minimax and Xiaomi are following right behind. Meanwhile, American giants like Anthropic's Claude 4.7 are sitting at 5th, with Gemini 3 and GPT 5.5 trailing way down at 12th and 13th. To me, this proves developers are actively chasing cost efficiency and raw performance over legacy brand recognition. It's a real game changer. And speaking of efficiency, we're seeing some major leaps in multimodal cost reduction too. DeepSeek's new vision mode is a perfect example of this. It actually pre-compresses visual data before processing it, which dramatically lowers the computing resources you need. Yet somehow it can flawlessly analyze complex blueprints, read incredibly dense tables, and even use visual bounding boxes to accurately count physical objects sitting on a shelf. High precision at a fraction of the cost, that's pretty much the new gold standard. Section 2. Automating the real world, from software to physical space. Now let's see how this builds from abstract server models into AI actually interacting with our digital and physical reality. We are officially crossing the threshold from AI just being a chatbot to becoming an active, capable agent. Look at how OpenAI is bridging this gap with their new record and replay feature for Codex on macOS. Say you're performing one of those mind-numbing, repetitive desktop chores, like formatting a weekly report or clicking through menus to book a parking spot. Well, Codex literally watches your screen, analyzes the specific windows and your mouse clicks, and turns all of that into a saved AI skill. The next time you need to do it, it just automatically replays the entire sequence for you. Although it is worth noting that this feature is currently unavailable for users in the European Economic Area. Meanwhile, over in the realm of digital media generation, XAI has rolled out Grok Imagine Video 1.5. This update is all about acceleration and realism. Generation times have been slashed almost in half. We're talking producing a 720p 6-second video in just 25 seconds. But what really matters here is that it now creates perfectly synced audio simultaneously, and they've vastly improved the physical inertia and weight of moving objects within the generated video. It looks incredibly lifelike. But it isn't just digital automation. AI is stepping directly off the screen into the real world. Anthropic recently ran this fascinating experiment where they basically just plugged their Claude 4.7 model into a robot. With absolutely no pre-written control software, Claude autonomously analyzed the robot's hardware, figured out how its cameras and sensors worked, wrote its own custom code from scratch, and then successfully drove that robot to go fetch a green ball. I mean, that is a massive leap for autonomous robotics. And looping back to digital infrastructure, AI agents are becoming totally indispensable for security. Positive Technologies just released a new AI assistant called PTNIR aimed directly at cybersecurity professionals. This assistant is accelerating cyber incident investigations by 56%. It actively catches cleverly disguised threats that human analysts might easily overlook, and it reduces the time needed to write new security rules by nearly 90%. That's a huge time saver. Section 3. Politics, Policy, and Hollywood, Society's Reaction to the Tech. All right, let's pivot and examine how global governments, policymakers, and even popular culture are reacting to this incredibly rapid pace of automation. Basically, society is scrambling to catch up. Looking at U.S. politics, we're impartially seeing a notable softening in the rhetoric around AI regulation. Following some recent meetings, President Trump referred to Anthropic's CEO Dario Amodei as a smart guy, noting that the company is cooperating well with authorities. Crucially, the administration indicated that because the industry is acting responsibly, there's no current need to invoke aggressive federal measures like the Defense Production Act to control AI development. Across the globe, though, Estonia is tackling the governance of AI agents with a truly fascinating policy solution. Instead of just handing an AI the keys to your entire digital life, they're proposing issuing dedicated digital passports, or IDs, specifically for AI agents. This would allow the AI to act officially on a citizen's behalf, but within incredibly strict, predefined boundaries. And this breakdown brilliantly illustrates how it would actually work in practice. The AI passport would grant permission so your agent can draft a tax return or access specific government registries, and it can even pay a bill up to a predefined limit. But it explicitly cannot freely access your personal bank accounts or your highly sensitive data. It's essentially a structural firewall designed to make AI assistants safe and accountable in everyday life. Shifting gears over to pop culture, it seems the drama of the AI industry itself is facing a few hurdles. The highly anticipated film Artificial, the one directed by Luca Guadagnino, chronicling the wild 2023 firing and rehiring of OpenAI CEO Sam Altman, well, it suddenly lost its distributor. Amazon MGM dropped the project, leaving the film and its massive star-studded cast, including Andrew Garfield, currently in limbo as they search for a new studio. Section 4. Testing AI's Cognitive Limits, Solving the Unsolved. For our final section today, we're exploring AI at the very edges of human cognition. We've seen what it can automate, but what happens when we ask it to discover something entirely new? Well, to test exactly that, 30 professional mathematicians challenged leading AI models with a first-proof test. They used entirely unpublished, previously unsolved mathematical problems, and the results? The best performer was ChatGPT 5.5 Pro, but it only solved exactly 6 out of 10 tasks. What the researchers found is that while the AI builds these incredibly convincing, beautifully formatted mathematical arguments, human experts frequently found hidden logical flaws and skipped steps buried within the proofs. But where AI struggles with charting brand new mathematical territory, it's actually proving absolutely exceptional at decoding ancient history. Take the Minoan Linear A script from the Bronze Age. For over 120 years, this incredibly rare and complex ancient language has completely baffled scientists and archaeologists around the world. That is, until now. An engineer named Tom Demina utilized Claude to write custom Python scripts, allowing him to run over 100,000 computer simulations on the surviving Linear A texts. By having the AI search for massive data patterns, he theorized that the script is actually a vanished Semitic language. Through this AI-assisted brute force, he managed to compile a 408-word dictionary and has potentially translated an ancient prayer to a goddess. That's something humans alone couldn't achieve in over a century. Which leaves us with this final, provocative thought to wrap up today's explainer. As we watch these models effortlessly decode 120-year-old ancient mysteries on one hand, but confidently stumble on unpublished modern math proofs on the other, what is the true role of AI in our future? Is it destined to become our ultimate, autonomous researcher, or will it always require a human expert looking over its shoulder to check its math? Thanks so much for joining me on this deep dive, and keep questioning the data.